What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video on Car Talks 100. This particular car is the 2024 Honda CRV EX all-wheel drive. The 2023 and 24 model year looks the same. This one just happens to be the 24. This particular one is white, which means that it's a premium paint. You pay somewhere around $395 to $455 in the entire lineup of Honda, depending on what car you go with. CRV lineup, it has 6 trim levels. The base LX starting at around $29,500 USD, going all the way topping it off at $39,500 for the touring model. That $10,000 difference gives you the other 4 trim levels. This one stickering in at around $32,190 USD with all-wheel drive added on top of it for about $1,500. So all in all, stickers in $33,000 some dollars, pre-tax, pre any other options. As we go around, we'll talk about the trim levels you get in the CRV. So LX, EX, Sport, EXL, Sport L, and then the Touring. The hybrids obviously are going to be a little more aggressive looking. They appear a little more prominent on the road as opposed to the non-hybrids, which is your LX, EX, and EXL. They appear to be a little more subtle. This one is going to be on the subtle side. As we look at the front, we'll go from what's under the hood to the bottom of the bumper. Under the hood of the non-hybrid trim levels is going to be a 1.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine producing 190 horsepower. But then again, this is a CRV. You're not buying this for horsepower. You're buying it for its reliability, for the space it's offering and its size to haul your small family or to haul yourself with, luggage and what have you that you want to put, and then have the all-wheel drive capability if need to be. As we come around to the front fascia and looking at the lights, full LED lights, your turn signals switch into your DRLs when you use them. Otherwise, the headlights are really good because they are full LED on all trim levels from LX all the way up to Touring. No fog lights, of course, with any trim levels. If you go for the Sport or the Sport L or Touring, you get a little more accents in the bumper at the bottom of the bumper, but still no fog lights. You do have functional air vents on both sides. Then you have a combination of matte and gloss. Matte where it will take more beating of road grime, rocks, salt, things like that, and then gloss where your Honda sensing sits within that big Honda emblem. Otherwise, the overall front fascia is fairly neat and clean. I do like how it looks. You folks let me know if you like this particular design of the CRV versus the outgoing 2022 model year. As we come around the side, what are we looking at? We're looking at the 18-inch alloys. So your Bridgestone tire, which is the Bridgestone Ecopia, this is 18-inch wheel here. We're looking at the rest of the car on the side profile really is going to be the matte cladding there, so good for beating. Overall, this would be one of the reasons you wouldn't want to go with LX and move up to an EX, because LX still gives you hubcaps, whereas EX then puts you into the alloys. I don't particularly have any comment on the design of this. I feel like the past generation EX had a better design compared, or maybe a little better material, because it was a mix of both brushed aluminum and your typical aluminum. Here you just have this flat, but hey, I'll take this over hubcaps any day in 2023 for any car. Also on the EX, you get integrated turn signals. This one also has the blind spot monitoring system and keyless entry. Overall, the side profile, it's simple, it's clean, it's nice for what it's offering. It is going to be competing with, your Toyota RAV4, your Hyundai Tucson, your Kia Sorento. So if you have about $33,000, $34,000, you're looking for a reliable compact SUV, this is going to be one of the options you'd be looking at. As we go around the side and come around the back, you folks let me know what you feel about the design of this particular car as opposed to the outgoing model. This reminds me a little bit. Let me know if you see it that way or not, but I feel like we can kind of see the 2012 CRV in the back. Though it does look pretty clean. It's a neat looking back. Not a lot of badging. You only have the Honda emblem and then the CRV. They even took the all-wheel drive badging and brought it in as a sticker, which is really nice because I feel like it just makes the car look less clunky and a lot simpler, and you can see the design of it when it has less badging. For the trunk, going from top to the bottom, you get your top mounted brake light, your wipers, and then coming down here, you get your matte bumper bottom, so it takes beating good again. Overall, you know, when you look at this car, it's got good matte places, so it takes good beating there. And then this particular EX has 2 exhausts tucked underneath, so nothing visible on that side. If we go out and look at the back, it's a subtle, clean back. Nothing exciting about this back in particular. Outside of at night, I do like how the lights appear because your parking and your brake would be LED. Everything else would be incandescent, which is okay for the price segment this car falls under, especially the EX trim level. You have your backup camera there. To open the trunk, here's a funny thing, and correct me in the comments if you folks know how to. So I have the key fob here. There is a release for the trunk, but it's not automatic. So you hit this. I've tried it multiple ways, like twice, or press and hold. It doesn't do anything. Maybe it only unlatches. So this remote functionality for the trunk release is useless. As we go into the trunk, I'm simply going to go under and open this, and you can see it's a manual open trunk, which is fine, but I just feel like this, maybe they didn't want to give it as a blank switch, so they gave that, or maybe it's only to unlatch if you don't want to unlock the whole car. Trunk, like I said, one of the reasons you would buy a CRV is because of the space. 39 cubic feet with seats up, 75 with all seats down. For the trim levels that are not hybrid, you do get a spare tire underneath, and you get a false floor. So right now you can see it's recessed, but you could simply take this and you put it up here, and it becomes a floor, which then makes an even floor for you to put things through, which is a nice feature. And then underneath, if we look around here, you do have your spare tire with the toolkit there. In the back, you do have LED lighting. You have, if you want to tailgate, you have your 12-volt socket on one side, and then some grocery bags hooks over there. Otherwise, nothing out of ordinary to mention in the price point you get this car for. I think it has decent space. It does not have the release for the front seats to go down from here, so you would have to reach out and simply put it down from here. Not bad. It's not too much work, but overall, I think the car has decent space, even with the 5 seats all up. Like I said, 39 cubic feet this way, 75 when you fold the front seats down, or the second row down. To shut it, there's no button. You just have the grab handle, and then you simply shut it. As we go inside of the car, let's see what the CRV offers. I have the remote here. It is keyless, so you just open it up like that to the door panel. Looks plasticky. It is plasticky. Where your arms will rest, this is leather padded or leatherette, but everything else is rather mixture of plastic and leather. So like pleather here. Then let me know how you feel about this. I just don't like the texture of this, quite frankly. And then you've got lots of plastic here, plastic everywhere. It makes sense for the price, right? But it's just a lot of plastic at a door panel this size. Typical controls here is 1 touchdown auto for drivers and passenger, then your rear, no power folding, of course, but all your controls are here. EX does give you driver's seat as automatic with the lumbar support. Your passengers don't get that here. As we jump into it, but before we do, you could kind of see the interior. It's clean, it's nice, shares the same family interior of all the Hondas currently that we have. And as we jump into the interior, I have the key fob on me. We're going to turn the car on, and you could kind of see that the lineup is carried over in all of the Hondas. Here's how the gauge cluster looks like. So you've got on the right side, you've got the digital, and then on the left side, you have some configurability. Your vehicle settings and things like that can also be configured from here because the controls are over here. Honda has done a really nice job when it comes to giving that seamless experience as to what is digital versus what is analog. It looks pretty clean. Going from left to right, you have plastic everywhere, just plastic fantastic. Again, I'll use that word. But here you don't get much of an option except your traction control. In the previous CRVs, your lane departure and Honda sensing features were actually also a button, so you don't get that here. You get your typical honeycomb vents here, so carries over from the line of the Civic as opposed to the Accord. Accord has diamond pattern, the CRV and the Civics have the honeycomb, and you get the black knobs, no silver accents or anything like that on that. Your steering wheel is not leather wrapped because this is an EX, but you do have this silver thing here that kind of contrasts your AC dials there. Here is your safety suite that sits through, and then obviously no paddle shifters on this car, but you get your wiper stock and your indicator stock here. As we come to the center console here, you could see this one being a push button start along with all CRVs. So from LX going all the way up to Touring, you get the push button start. So that's a really good thing along with the fob there. 7-inch display, you get very thick bezels to basically house the knobs. The real estate is only up here. This has the Apple CarPlay and Android Auto connectivity, but it's going to be wired, not wireless. It's a six-speaker sound system, so nothing crazy there when it comes to the sound, but should be good. I'm not playing anything, won't play anything. Down below in the EX, even though it's cloth seats, you do get 3 stages of heated seats. No ventilated, of course, but then your every other control is pretty typical. For all trim levels, they are still manual. You have the dual climate control here, along with AC vents in the back, which we'll get to in a bit. You've got cubby here, no wireless charging, of course. Even if it had it would be useless because the phone would slide off too much. 1 USB-C, 1 USB-A, and then you've got your 12-volt socket. Here, your new Honda knob, or the shift knob that is similar to, your Accords and your now CRVs. No leather padding, but it's still nice. Here is the only leather that is there. It's got 3 different modes. So CRV has the Econ, Normal, and your Snow mode for the EXL and EX and LX trim levels. You do have the auto start off button there if you ever wanted to use this. If I had a car like this, this would be the first thing I'll turn off, because it's always been an annoying thing for me to listen to a car next to me on a traffic light. Your parking brake, your brake hold, cup holders, I feel like they're a decent size. They could be bigger if they were to be put vertically, or let me know, but I think they're a decent size. But for the car, I think they could be a little bigger, because I feel like they might be smaller than what they give in Civics and Accords. But overall, pretty decent utility. I don't know what you use this for. Maybe just to put the key fob here, but it's plastic, so it's gonna rattle. So maybe just put a pen here or something. And then down here, you've got your center console. You can see that this is the size of it, so it's got decent depth in there. Overall, it's got enough storage space in the front for the people. Could be more, could be less, you decide. But in the size of this car, I think we get enough of what it offers. Cloth seats here. With the white, you get this tan, beige, whatever color you want to call this, or off-white color there. So they will get dirty rather quick. If you keep the car for another 7-8 years, they will probably need a little love to keep them clean. Otherwise, it's nice. I won't call them super comfortable or uncomfortable. They're just normal seats for a car that is for $32,000. It does have some decent support going on over here. The EX gives you the sunroof too. So for the price, now we're comparing this with an LX for about $2,000, $2,500 price difference. You get alloys, you get integrated turn signals, you also get sunroof there. You have then typical here, you've got your shades holder, then your LED map lights there, no SOS, no Honda home link going on, so you have to use the garage opener there. Underneath is your glove compartment there. No one really accesses it, so I'm not going to access that. Like I said earlier too, I just don't like the feel of the plastic that's going on here. But I feel like, Honda had to cut some cost to compensate for like Honda sensing and every trim level, this, that. So it kind of makes sense as to what they gave you and what they stripped away from you. Overall, as we exit the front, overall, clean, useful, simple, nothing that you can't really handle if you're coming from, like a 10, 12-year-old car to a new one. It's all going to be pretty self-explanatory, easy to use, easy to navigate. As we jump from the front to the back, let's unlock the car. Here's the back door panel. I like the back door panel more than the front because you see a little less plastic because there's less stuff going on here. But otherwise, the same carryover, you've got similar idea. So they kept the quality the same. If they stripped it from the front, they kept it the same in the back. You get decent sized cup holders both in the front and in the rear. As we jump into the back, the seat I set remotely to my position, which is 5'9", so you've got plenty of legroom, plenty of space. So this car is going to be good for long rides for adults or for kids. Power and air, you get vents in the EX along with 2 USB-Cs, so that is really nice because in the front they have 1 USB-A, 1 USB-C. In the back you get 2 USB-Cs. The engine hump is the transmission one is fairly low, so that's really nice. You can seat 3 adults on a short trip or 1 kid and 2 adults on a long trip. If we look at what's going on with the seats, same idea. They do recline a little bit, they just don't move back and forth. You do have the cup holder, really nice because I like how it's always raised up for these cars because it's a little more firm that way, and your cup holders sit like this, so it makes it convenient for people to put their drinks and also put their arms. It doesn't have through loading, but it does have the 60-40 split, and you don't need a through loading because this is open, so if you need to get something out from the trunk, you can certainly do that from here. Overall, the back is rather simple. You don't get any sunroof or anything like that. You do have your map light there, which is LED. Again, 1 map pocket for someone behind the passenger, but not for the driver, which I feel like is now becoming more common. Me as a driver, if I store something here like the cleaning cloth or something, it's easier for me to access this pocket than this. So I feel like these pockets are now meant for the driver more so than anybody else in the back because no one's being chauffeured around in a CRV really. So that's really that. Overall, as we bring this review or video to a close, what's my impression of the 2024 CRV in the price point it comes with? And should you shortlist this car? Should you buy it? Should you never look at it? I think you should definitely shortlist it, and I think you should definitely go test drive it if you can get your hands on one. I know it's kind of difficult in Canada to get some that are on the cheaper end because of the chip shortage still, what have you, or comparing it with the Toyota RAV4, but in the US, Hondas have them in stock by, in bulk really. So you should definitely go check out. My recommendation would really be that if you're looking at the trim levels, if your budget allows, look at EX and up models. Just eliminate LX simply because you get a lot more bang for your buck when you go for the EX and up trim level, simply by either the aesthetics of the car, because the LX and EX share the same engine, they share the same really everything except that few minor things that will make the car age well better. And also when you go ahead and resell it after keeping it for 7-8 years, you might get a little more simply by having a sunroof, by having alloys, by having heated seats, things like that EX gives along with all trim levels and not the LX. But hey, if you want to cap your budget at $30,000 and you're like, I just want a reliable car, I just want a new reliable car and I don't want to spend anything over $30,000, LX would still be fine. You can always switch the wheels out if need to be because they come stock with hubcaps there. So overall, $32,000 without the front wheel, with the front wheel, 33 some 5 with that, including the all-wheel drive. I think this is a solid car for what it offers in the price point. You again would be looking at this in tandem with the Toyota RAV4, so compare what you're getting in the same price point and then make your decision. I hope this review was helpful. If there's anything else you want me to cover in this car, let me know. The driving experience of this car overall is decent. Yes, it's loud because it's a smaller engine, but the driving is fairly smooth. It rides quiet. You have better road grip in comparison to, let's say, the previous EX, simply because now Hondas are riding on, McPherson struts. So that's a good thing there. But overall, for what this car offers and the price it's at, I think it's a very solid buy. And then, of course, you get the reliability attached to this very name here, and that is the Honda. So thank you very much for watching this video. I'll bring more videos onto this channel as we progress. I wanted to close this off by thanking everyone that has been engaging, that's been giving me feedback for improvement, that has been you know, just talking about things, or you know, subscribing to me, liking my videos, giving me comments, giving me feedback. Please continue bringing that. I would like to keep getting better, as this is the first time I've ever tried bringing content on, you know, in the world where there is so many things that people put out content for. So just all that, a big thank you to everybody for supporting me, for allowing me to bring content, and for liking the content I bring, and for being able to give me some feedback. So thank you all very much. I hope you all have a great week ahead. Take care. I'll see you folks in the next video.